What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever It's Live, Motorsports.com. He's joined by Spinmo Rex, Young
What up,
Chris,
though?
Nicholas Cole off the microwave, Caleb the colorblind, the explosive, if you will. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend. I stole this one kind of from BDE because I know it's been a topic, but it's not really one we've discussed. And as for the Detroit Lions, I say pay Haason Reddick or Judon, just because it's not just trading for them. Both these guys want to be paid. And
No, I don't think they should. I think you have to look at guys in-house that you're going to re-sign after already re-signing Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff. Lee McNeil still needs a deal done. Aiden Hutchinson is going to need a deal done. Kirby Joseph is going to need a deal done. These guys are guys that you're going to have to pay if you want to keep them along for the ride. And bringing in a Judon or a Reddick, yeah, it looks good on paper, but neither of them are going to play unless they are signed a multi-year, long-term extension, and the Lions aren't in the position to do that. So, no.
Yeah,
Doesn't fit the timeline.
I just want to set the table this way too, real quick. It's not happening. I know that people are hopeful for that to happen, and we are in the type of window where that move may be made, but not for these guys. These guys are sitting out because they want to be paid. Brad Holmes is famous for not spending money outside of the organization. He reinvests in what he's drafted, what's homegrown. We weren't going to do it with with L'Jarius Sneed, and we're not going to do it with either one of these guys. I think all three are tremendous players, but just this is why we routinely have boring free agency. Brad Holmes does not spend money outside of the guys he's drafted, typically. I think DJ Reader maybe got the most money, and maybe Cam Sutton behind him. He's definitely not going to give up assets to then give a guy from outside the organization a big contract. It's just not going to happen. If they were playing on these one-season deals, if you talk to their agents and you either agree upon a contract or just playing out the season so they could up their value and playing on a winning team, and they agree to play the season, yeah, I'm all the way down. You guys knew I was down when it was Chase Young, who was way lesser of a value than these guys.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case, and we don't know what type of agreements are being made behind closed doors. Obviously, these guys want contracts. Caleb, Nick, what are you guys thinking?
I think you hit it right there and the nail on the head there. I think Haason Reddick would be a guy that I would easily eye out. If you are going to make this your Super Bowl window, yeah, that was freaking hilarious, Spencer. All right, Haason Reddick, 50.5 sacks the last 4 years.
Wow.
It's elite. And you think to pair that with Aiden Hutchinson, it immediately increases your odds this year to not just get to a Super Bowl, to actually win the thing. Is Brad Holmes willing to give up capital in the draft and capital in terms of money to go and do that, to maybe not re-sign a guy like Lee McNeil? I'm not sure, but in his eyes, it'll actually make a lot of sense if he does make a move like this, where he believes that this team's ready to win a Super Bowl, and he's willing to jeopardize one of our best players in a Lee McNeil and letting him walk in the future if he does so.
Yeah, I don't know. This just doesn't feel like a Brad Holmes move really at all. I think he wants to build everything in-house. So, draft, and then, we've seen, draft Penei Sewell, extend him, Amon-Ra, extend him, Jared Goff, trade for him, extend him, but that was a little bit different. Mm-hmm. I think he wants to build everything in-house, and especially, with guys like Reddick and Judon already causing problems on other teams because they want money. I don't know if that's a guy, guys they would want to bring in. But, yeah, it just doesn't seem like a Brad Holmes move. It would be nice having one of those guys, on the other side of Hutch, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I think that Brad Holmes, when you look back, you kind of alluded to this, but I'll take it a stretch further, that Brad Holmes doesn't spend money on outside talent, really. He's not he keeps it in-house, but he's the same way with his assets too. He's cheap about both assets and finances. And so I think that if Brad Holmes were to make a move like this, it would come at the trade deadline, where it's the last possible moment. You need this to get over the hump. Now I will put my cards in and move for less assets than it's going to cost right now, less money than it's going to cost right now. So I think that's the type of move he's going to make. I don't think he's ever made that splash that would tell you otherwise. I think he's going to look at this team. He's going to look at the cuts around camps around the NFL, and then he's going to sign some players, bring it to the deadline, and go from there. I don't think he's gonna make a big move like this right now. It just doesn't seem like it's.
Yeah,
He will spend assets though, because we did it with Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's done it in the draft.
He
to
did it
move
with
up
get
and
Terry
down.
Arnold. Yeah, he's just not doing it to then pay a guy money. We got
Exactly.
Carlton Davis, but
Yeah.
we didn't get Carlton Davis and re-up him. You know.
But even then, he's shown to be very. He's not going to just trade assets to trade assets. He traded for a guy he really believes in Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is he values his assets like he values his money, where he's going to get that guy for the cheapest price possible, or that production for the cheapest price possible. And I believe that that's what he got in Carlton Davis, because we talked about, the bigger free agents and just other people that could have been on the move asset wise in the secondary, and he went for Carlton Davis, and we all kind of said third rounder for Carlton Davis. That's okay.
Yeah, I do agree with Chris where he said that he's going to make a move like this at the deadline, because I think he's going to make a move this year, because I think he knows everybody in that front office, everybody in that organization, everybody on that team knows that this is the year they're going to win the Super Bowl. So when it comes down to the deadline, that's where you make a move. Whether it be for an edge rusher, whether it be for a wide receiver, you're going to see them make a move at the deadline for guys that are playing. Guys that aren't holding out, guys that aren't expecting contracts at the end of the year, guys that are playing football, guys that are playing football well, and guys that can have something to offer to this team. So when teams start falling apart down the stretch, whether it be a Los Angeles Chargers that are looking to get rid of a Khalil Mack, whether it be, maybe the Jets fall apart again and they're looking to get rid of somebody. You never know what team is going to make that fall off and end up having to sell pieces.
Yeah.
So I think Brad Holmes will be in on it then. But right now, it doesn't make sense for them to go after a guy that they're going to have to pay and extend on a long-term deal just to get them to come to camp. That's not something that he's in the business of doing. That's not something that the Lions' financial plan is in the business of doing. I guarantee that,
He's just never done it.
yeah, Mike
Not even on the
Disner
open market.
and Rod Wood are probably in Brad Holmes' office like, no, we can't pay this guy. We're not paying these guys.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
no.
Brad's also just don't do it.
And it's like I said, you just shelled out so much money. You still got core pieces that you got to pay for to keep this team together in the future. You're not going to trade for a guy just to sign him to a 4-year, $70 million contract.
Yeah, not and like you brought up Aleem.
Yeah.
They're kind of talking about signing right now too. You got Hutch that's coming up. The other piece of this as well is like I don't even know if we got the money to do it. If there's a guy that's willing to play on that half a year or just, chase after that Super Bowl. We're kind of light in the pocket after this past draft because we gave up a third-round pick to move into the fourth to draft Manu, who's also a 2-year project. And you also gave up another pick to move up to grab Avaki.
Yeah.
I mean, there's future drafts that you can go and make that deadline, trade with. I don't know. Ryan Tannehill's out there, though. I'm just saying.
I think too to top it all off here, like he's. What was that?
I was yawning, but so what does that have to do with it?
What were you saying, Chris?
I honestly lost my point. It was off of what Spencer just said. What was your last point? Because I wanted to go off of that.
The money situation.
Oh,
and
money.
Yeah, and doesn't that go against the culture too of this franchise and what they built of the you earn your money, like not trading for a player?
If it's a guy
and
that's
then,
like
I get you.
like
but-
Reddick and Judah, they've earned their money.
50
It's
and
just
a half sacks
Yeah.
the
Again,
last 4 years.
I'm just saying
You're-
like as far as this organization goes.
Nick, you're the guy that wants to re-sign Aleem McNeil right now, right?
Yeah, I'm
So
not
you're-
saying we should do this. I'm saying if they did this, I'd be excited.
Yeah, I'm not against this at all.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that
It's not
this
gonna
man's
happen.
track record,
Yeah,
it's not going to
I
happen.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I would 100% re-sign Aleem before this season because I think he might outprice himself this year playing in this contract year.
Unless maybe because I do remember the Jets putting out that tweet about Hassan Reddick is like, yeah, like we traded for him, we
They're not
established
trading him,
like
they
we were being we're not trading him. We're just going to continue to find him through the CBA under the laws of the CBA until he shows up. Maybe if these guys do show up, maybe you do trade for him if they're willing to play. But it's like, how hard are they willing to go?
Money's not an object. Situations aren't an object. Who would you rather trade for, Hassan Reddick or CeeDee Lamb?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Whoa. Did you guys say this earlier? I'm
No.
gonna go CD.
Probably CD Lamb.
Yeah.
He's close
Yeah,
to the
give me
top
the
of his
receiver.
position. In the
CeeDee
side
Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown will be by
Nuts.
far the
J-Mo,
best. By
J-Mo.
far the best receiving
Insane.
duo in the NFL.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I saw it already. People didn't. They didn't see it when I was saying it, but I see some people ask for Josh Reynolds back now too.
And then you sprinkle in J-Mo with that. Like, what do
Yeah.
you do as a defense? You don't do anything.
Yeah, it's
His money's not an object, Reddick or Judon,
Judon.
because he's at the edge.
Yeah, he's more of a Dan Campbell type player who's going to play more consistently on all downs.
I'm gonna go Reddick because I think he excels at getting to the pass rusher or getting to the quarterback.
I'm gonna go Reddick as well. I just think he's a better, just a better pass rusher. But like Spenny said, it's tough because Judon's better against the run. But I don't know. I think I'd take Reddick.
I take Judon.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
How
not
old is
complaining either way.
Yeah.
I think Reddick's contract would be bigger, but I'm also money's not thinking this option. I might go Reddick simply because I just know we have so many guys demanding double teams that he's just gonna fucking go off.
Matt Judon's got 66.5 sacks and 82 starts. So
Damn.
it's not like he doesn't get to the quarterback, you know.
He also gets to the quarterback.
Reddick is 29. Judon's turning 32 in 2 days.
Yep.
Shout out.
Reddick's,
Hassan is 29 and Judon turns 32 in 2 days.
yeah. I mean, I'm not
Both
sure
are
either way.
good.
Probably
Yeah.
Reddick, I guess.
Both would just completely transform this defense right now to where we're
Well,
at.
Hassan
but
Reddick turns
Yeah.
30 next month.
I mean, Dan Campbell probably would want Judon, but
It wasn't his, what was I gonna say? 60 days.
Oh,
Like, he
yeah, I
turns-
mean, he said it like you just turned 29. He's 2 years younger. He's 2 years younger than him.
I guess maybe expound on that. Do you think you still?
48
we got the
days.
money for it. You still think they make a move at the deadline? Just
I
knowing
think
we're kind of light.
I think there's no other reason why they're holding on to $40 million in cap space.
Ryan Tannehill, baby. I'm playing. You,
You could sign Ryan Tannehill and
still
still,
have
have $30 million
Yeah.
in cap space. Like people were saying, I think it was Keys. Shout out to Keys in the BDE chat. Was like, I would rather have Juju and offensive tackle 3 right now. I would love that as well. You could sign Juju Smith-Schuster and a backup offensive tackle
And Ryan Tannehill.
and Ryan Tannehill and still have $20 million left in cap space.
42 million.
Yeah, they're sitting on a gold mine right now, and I think it's because they're going to make a big swing. That's what I said on BDE. Like, if you could get a tampering or under the table agreement with Judon or Reddick and be like, listen, we're not gonna sign you to a 4-year extension, but we'll give you $25 million to come win a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah.
Because
That's
they got
what
the
I'm
money
on
to
board
do
with.
it.
By the way, they can move some things around and make it make sense, but it's just like it's kicking the can down the road. I believe the expression that Neil likes to use all the
I
time.
kick it
It's
down the
those-
road.
It's those void years. Like you go,
Keep kicking.
if you guys go to, I think it's Over the Cap. I may have this on Spot Check as well too. Pull up Jalen Hurts' contract. It's like his cap hit this year's only like 15 million or something like that. But then like post playing career, he's got like 15 there, 15 there. It's just like spread all throughout. Like so, you could make it work. It's just like, are you willing to do that? The void year is definitely a new tactic too. We don't know how this affects teams moving forward, but we have to go to break.
And you
We're up
gotta think
against
the
it.
cap's just going to keep going up.
That's honestly probably the way to go is those void years because of that reason. Unless all void years become due at the time of cut or retirement.
We'll figure something
Yeah,
out. We got some wizards in that front office, dude. They'll figure something